Good morning. Welcome to Morning Prime. My name is Aaron Houghton, and I'm excited to share my morning routine with you. Today is Friday, and it is May. It is a new month. Here we go. It's month 2 or 3 in quarantine for most of us, and things have been really different recently. So thank you for joining me for a couple minutes, spending this time together. This is my routine that I do every morning to get my mind and my body prepared for what is in front of me today. So let's get started. I do Morning Prime. I do activities in 3 categories every morning, and it's all about getting my mind and my body calm, positive, and prepared. And so I pick 1 or 2 tools in each category based on what I need for my day, and we're finishing out the week together and going into the weekend, which sometimes for me recently that's looked a lot like the week. There hasn't been a lot of difference between days, but I'm going to take some time for myself and with the family this weekend, so it's going to be a little bit different this time. Let's go ahead and get started with the first activity in the calm category today. So this is my worksheet from the Founders First System workshop that I've been teaching to startup founders and entrepreneurs all around the country throughout the month of April. And we've had 27 founders come through the program already since we started it in March. And so really excited about it. This is the Design Your Perfect Morning Routine worksheet. And I keep copies of this around on paper. I like to do my planning with pen and paper, so I have copies of this ready to go every morning, and I write down and pick the tools that I think will work for my day, and that's where I start. So let's start with box breathing today. This one's, if you've joined us a couple times before, you may not have seen this one. I think I've done it here once before, maybe 10 episodes back or so. So let's, I'll give you a little primer as to how this works. So box breathing refers to the 4 sides of a box. So breathing in 4 stages. Breathing in is one side of the box, holding the breath at the top of the box, and then breathing out down the other side of the box, and then holding at the bottom. I breathe there, but holding the breath at the bottom, and then breathing back in on this side. So I'm gonna just trace a box in the air as we do this. I'll give you some prompts for breathe in, hold, breathe out, and then hold at the bottom. And you'll see my hand going around the box in a circle here as we go. So you can keep track of where you should be. And if you get good at this practice, it's really fun to start pushing the number of seconds that you spend on each side with each phase of the breath up and up and up. If you think about it, at 15 seconds per side of the box, that's actually just 1 breath per minute. So this is about slowing our breath rate down and telling our mind and our bodies that we're okay and we can be relaxed, and doing that through breath control with our breath rate. We're not going to go nearly that high today. Even 10 seconds a side is really challenging, and you've got to work up to it. So let's start with 2 seconds per side, and I'll step it up and I'll count them out. You can follow my speed here as we go. So let's go ahead and get started. Take a deep breath in and just let it out, normal breath. Breathe in for 3. Hold breath at the top. Breathe out for 3. Hold at the bottom for 3. You want to make the breath in and out take the full 3 seconds here. So 3 in, hold at the top, breathe out for 3, hold at the bottom. Let's go for 5 now. 5 on the in breath. Hold for 5. Breathe out for 5. Hold for 5. Breathe in for 5. Hold for 5. Breathe out for 5. Hold at the bottom for 5. All right, 7 on the in-breath. Here we go. Hold for 7. Breathe out for 7. Hold for 7. Breathe. Breathe in for 7. Breathe out for 7. Hold for 7. All right, let's breathe in for 7 again. Hold for 7. Breathe out for 7. Hold at the bottom for 7. Let's do 10. Take one breath in and out. It's a normal breath. Let's do 10 seconds on each side of the box. See if we can do it. All right, exhale all of your air out. Breathe in slowly for 10. Here we go. Hold for 10. Breathe out for 10. Hold at the bottom for 10. All right, breathe normally. Just take 2 or 3 clearing breaths. So breathe in, expand the chest, and just collapse and let it out at the end. One more big breath in. So for most people, our normal breath rate is somewhere around 12 to 15 breaths per minute during the day. I track it when we're sleeping with my Oura ring that gives me my average breath rate when I'm sleeping. It's usually somewhere between 13 and 15 breaths per minute when I'm sleeping. And so if you think about the timing we just used with the 7-second box sides, we're actually at 2 breaths per minute. 2! We've restricted it that much. And at the 10-second box sides, we're at 1.5 breaths per minute. If we get it all the way down to 15, or up to 15, then the breath rate is actually 1 breath per minute. So don't push it too far. The goal isn't to pass out. But the goal with that is to test our anxiety response a little bit. If you're like me, especially when we got to the 10-second cycle at the end, I felt myself getting a little lightheaded and really not wanting to hold the breath at the bottom for those last 10 seconds. And that's something you can just sit with just for a second. If you need to breathe, you can always breathe. But you can sit with it for just a second and feel that a little bit of anxiety response or that worry pop up, just like it happens during our day with all sorts of things that we encounter normally. And just sit with it and be okay with it. Don't respond to the anxiety. If it's an emergency, do respond. But you can play around with that edge, right? So just sit with it and be okay with it. And that's great training for all the experiences we go through on a regular day where things get us activated or we worry about something, where we have a thought that comes with fear and we get a little bit of anxiety that rises up with it. And this is the training for what should your mind do with it. The mind's a muscle, and if you train it, that it's okay to recognize it and to see it and to just be okay with it, maybe even tag it, give it an emotion, think about whether it was a thought or an emotion, and then just let it go. So thanks for joining me on that one. I feel a lot more calm. Now I also feel a lot more energized, and it actually reminds me of my breath. Now as I'm talking, as I'm breathing, I'm almost thinking about the breath a little bit more. I'm grateful for a normal pace of breath again. All right, so the next tool today is a visualization. And I did this earlier this week with my team at Founders First System and a facilitator that was running us through a planning session together, the amazing Rachel Downey. And she shared this visualization with us, and I had an incredible experience with it, actually. It was around visualizing an outcome, and so we were visualizing the future state of our business in 6 to 12 months, and all of the people we're helping and all the impact that we're having, and it was a moment to just sit and be in that moment and think about what that feels like so that we can be focused about where we want to go. And also, I felt incredibly positive. I actually felt a ton of joy from the experience as well. So here's what we're going to do. Go ahead and sit comfortably in your seat, feet flat on the floor, straight back if you can. I think it's just helpful to get us grounded from a balance standpoint so that we can close our eyes and get out of our current reality into the reality of this visualization. So I want you to go ahead and close your eyes, take a clearing breath in and let it out. Relax your shoulders, relax your face, the muscles in your face. Just feel the skin on your face drooping down as you relax. And I want you to think about a big project or goal you're working on, something that is a 2020 goal or something you want to accomplish now in the month of May, or even maybe a 5 or a 10-year goal. Take a moment to figure out what that is, and I want you to fast forward to the outcome. It isn't done, let's say, something's never finished, but it's achieved a major milestone, maybe even a milestone that you can't even predict yet. So be silly in your mind a little bit and fast forward and be creative and think about what could possibly happen. So go ahead and picture what's around you in this moment. You've accomplished the goal you wanted to accomplish, and you're sitting in this moment, just soaking up the incredibleness that you've created. Take a few seconds to think about what's around you. What's your environment look like? See if you can come up with some numbers that you can attach around things. The influence you had, the number of people you impacted, or dollars of revenue if it's a business project, or maybe just the people on your team around you if the team is growing, or you've just survived and gotten to the other side of the current coronavirus pandemic crisis. Whatever it is, that's okay. Just picture where you are now and picture some numbers. What's happening? It's the beginning of the day. What's happening? It's the middle of the day. What are your interactions like? How do you feel? Remember, you're still in this incredible moment where really your dreams have come through. Something you're currently dreaming about has already happened in this moment. Just sit with that. Now I want you to give it an emotion. 1, 2, or maybe even 3 emotions. Can you give it an emotion? Can you tag how you feel with an emotion in this moment? We're visualizing you've accomplished this massive goal 6 to 12 months or even years from now, and you're sitting in the moment and you've done everything that you wanted to pull off. You've had the impact you wanted to have. You've proven maybe a theory that you had or something that you wanted to prove to the world. How does that feel? Do you feel joy? Do you feel excitement? Maybe you feel relief. Maybe there's a little bit of anxiety around all the work it's going to take to get there now. So when you get there, you feel that incredible relief from the moment. Take a second and assign it emotion. 1 or 2, maybe even 3, if you can come up with it. Mine are joy. Mine are connection, because we're building a community of founders talking about mental health and supporting each other. I'm feeling connected to that group, and they're feeling connected to each other. I can't tell you how passionate I am about bringing this idea to fruition. So sitting in the moment and feeling that it's already happened is just an incredible feeling. Take one last breath in and out, and then come back to the room. You can open your eyes. All right, I want to finish this up today. We are at almost 15 minutes. It flies by so fast every time. Thank you, and thank yourself for taking 15 minutes to work on your mind and your body to get calm, positive, and prepared for the things that you need to do today. I want to finish with a mantra that comes from my good friend Finian Kelly, who leads these amazing conscious breathwork activities. I'm going to share one of those with this group the next time he publishes one. I know he had one earlier this week, and invite everybody to them. They're absolutely incredible. They're transformative. They're a great way to get your mind and your emotions cleared and get down to that theta brainwave state where the most intuition and creativity comes out of our minds when we're awake, but we're almost in a dreamlike state. So this is a mantra that Finn's used with an entrepreneur group that I'm involved in here in Colorado very frequently. And it's very simple, but I think it's a great reminder to enjoy and live in the moment that we are in right now. Because, hey, this is a really unique moment that we are in right now. The way the world is, the way our communities are, and the way our families are, it may not be exactly the way we envisioned it, but it's an incredible moment to be in right now. So from Finian Kelly, I will share, be intentional and live in the now. So there you go. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for Morning Prime. I do this here live on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings at 7:07 a.m. Mountain Time. That's 9:07 on the East Coast. And if you missed us, you can just come to the Founders First System Facebook page and find the recordings of the broadcast anytime. Have a great day.